And now we have Music Mania with Angelina Teta.
What's good, Mavs, and welcome back to another episode of Music Mania. I'm your host, Angelina Teta, and let's get started right away by checking out the hottest new music out right now. First off, Migos member Quavo has officially dropped his first singles album called Quavo Huncho, with collaborations from Drake, Travis Scott, Kid Cudi, and even Madonna. The album spans 19 tracks long and is just over an hour in length. In addition, Usher has decided to celebrate his 40th birthday by releasing a surprise collaboration album, working with producer Zaytoven to drop an 8-song project simply called A. We also got a surprise song from Latin pop star Bad Bunny and none other than Drake with their new song, Mia. And finally, closing out the new music list is Kodak Black's new single, ZZ, where he raps over a tropical good vibes beat along with the guest verses from Travis Scott and Offset. Well, to wrap up the segment, we're going to be ending on some concert news. This past Saturday, Drake was performing in the Staples Center in LA as a part of his Aubrey and the Migos tour. When it was time to perform Sicko Mode, a song Drake features on, he brought out none other than Travis Scott and, to everyone's surprise, Los Angeles' Lakers all-star small forward LeBron James. It got the crowd off their feet and was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime performance to witness. Well, that's all the time I have for you today, Mavs. Now on to the Mavs Sports Zone with Carla Soto.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Carla Soto. Now let's get into it. The JV football team plays host to South Plantation School today at 6 p.m. The varsity football team plays host to University School on Friday at 7 p.m. There will be a mandatory pre-tryout meeting for basketball cheerleading on Monday at 6 p.m. in the I-Lounge. The women's volleyball team takes on Pompano Beach High School today for the District 6A Championship in the Maverick Gym. Game time is set for 6 p.m. Now on to the Dolphins game. Sunday's game between the Bears and the Dolphins in Miami turned into a crazy game that featured wild swings of emotion. Unfortunately for the Bears, the back-and-forth battle in hot and humid conditions took them to their first loss in 5 weeks as Jason Sanders' 47th field goal as the time expired in overtime gave them the Dolphins the win, 31-28. Miami was inches away from scoring a game-ending touchdown on its opening possession of overtime. But on the 3rd and goal from 1, Akeem Hicks forced Kenyon Drake fumbled that Eddie Goldman recovered in the end zone. The Miami Dolphins play again Sunday against the Detroit Lions at 8 p.m. Here's the MLB baseball standings. Currently on the east side, Boston is number 1, New York at number 2, and Tampa Bay at number 3. And on the west side, Houston's at number 1, Oakland at number 2, and Seattle at number 3. This week, the NBA announced Her Time to Play, a new initiative to inspire girls ages from 7 to 14 to learn to play basketball. Check it out.
It's her time.
Her time.
It's her time to play. Anytime I had a problem, I feel like I went to the basketball court, and sports made me feel confident, comfortable, and happy.
You can be whoever you want to be on the court or on the field. It's a way for you to define yourself.
Sports has taught me that you have to keep going.
The program will provide hundreds of youth organizations with a free basketball curriculum and life skill lessons developed specifically for young women. It also aims to train and license 500 new female coaches and mentors through USA Basketball's and coaching license program. And now here's Ian Lynch for more on golf.
I'm here live with brother and sister duo, Justin and Jennifer Lilly, to talk about their recent success with the golf team. So how does it feel to be able to leave the legacy behind of being the first in school history to the boys and girls round in your teams and to be individual boys and girls district champions?
Feels good. Being able to put my name next to all the great Maverick District winners is a blessing. And also being able to win it with my sister is even better.
On question 2. Going forward with the playoffs, how difficult is it to change your mentality from district champ to going right back out to competing on Monday?
No, it's not that really hard. Depending on, no matter what the tournament is, even if it's districts, regionals, or states, I still have the same mentality as always.
Okay. Last but not least, since you're coming off being named district champions, are you feeling any extra pressure going into Monday's tournament?
No, I'm not feeling any extra pressure. It's just like a normal day. I've been playing for 5 years, 4 years in tournaments. It's been the same thing every day. It's nothing normal.
All right, thank you guys, and good luck on Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Mavs, I'm your host, I'm Liana Cuseno, and welcome back to yet another episode of Entertainment where we give you full coverage of what's been happening in pop culture this week. So without further ado, let's get started. Royal couple and parents-to-be Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have been giving the press something to comment on lately with their multiple public appearances this week in Australia. Harry and Meghan are on a 16-day tour of Australia, Fiji, Tonga, and New Zealand that includes 76 public engagements. The main focus of the tour is the Invictus Games, which were founded by Harry for sick and injured military personnel and veterans to compete in sports, and that will start in Sydney on Saturday. And Idris Elba has joined the film adaptation of the musical Cats. Cats is one of the longest-running Broadway shows in history. The upcoming movie has already casted quite a number of prominent actors, including Taylor Swift, Jennifer Hudson, Judi Dench, Ian McKellen, and yes, the carpool karaoke host himself, James Corden. The project is slated for a December 2019 release. The Office actor John Krasinski is coming back to write A Quiet Place 2. Krasinski made a very unexpected transition to blockbuster filmmaking in the horror genre, no less, earlier this year with A Quiet Place, which went on to become a massive hit for Paramount. Now, Krasinski reveals that he's returning for the sequel in a very significant way, as he'll pen the screenplay based on his own idea. A Quiet Place 2 is currently scheduled to arrive in theaters on May 15th, 2020. And 3 months after announcing their engagement, Karlie Kloss and Joshua Cunner have officially tied the knot. A rep for the Supermodel 26 confirms to People magazine the couple wed on Thursday evening. Kloss and Kushner held a small Jewish ceremony in upstate New York with under 80 people in attendance. They will also host a larger celebration for their friends and loved ones in spring. And that's all we have for today, Mavs. Thanks for joining us and see you next week. And now on to the very enigmatic Foreman Fridays.
Hello, Mavericks, and welcome to Foreman Fridays. Now, a lot of you have been thinking that this segment is sort of a joke. I just wanted to assure you that it definitely is not. Today, we are going to be listing the top 5 tips to leading a happy and healthy lifestyle. So, for tip number 1, don't ever reach for the stars. Okay, if you miss, you'll land on a cloud, but what happens if you make it? You'll land on a star, and stars are very hot. You will burn to death, so don't reach for the stars. For tip number 2, always eat a nutritious breakfast. That's a very basic tip. Tip number 3, also very important. Every Friday the 13th, say 13 Hail Marys at 13 o'clock. This is the only way that you can adequately make sure that you're staying safe. Otherwise, you will suffer the consequences. Tip number 4, every day before you wake up, rub almond butter on your forehead. This way, you reduce your chance of ever getting the flu again by 50%. A lot of you are probably wondering, is this true? The answer? No. Number 5. This is the most important one. When Foreman Fridays comes on, tell everybody in your class to stop talking. This is a very important tip, okay? If you do this, I guarantee you will be healthy and happy because you will receive my weekly message. That's all we have for this week's edition of Foreman Fridays. And if you didn't enjoy it too much, don't worry. We're going to have a lot of special content coming in the next few weeks. So stay tuned. Now back to the anchors with World News.
A student from Davis High School in California supposedly baked her grandfather's ashes into cookies that she made for the class. Even some classmates that were aware of the ingredients still consumed the treats. This female student brought the cookies on October 4th, and 9 other students took part in eating them, according to Davis police. Other students were well aware. Police have decided that a public nuisance charge would be more appropriate for this situation. One student said that the texture was as if you were eating sand. You could feel the crunching between your teeth and that there were tiny gray flecks within the cookies.
That's disgusting.
I'm grossed out.
Okay, Michael Grimes is a technology banker at Morgan Stanley. He works with some of the most highly valued companies and probably has a very large multi-million-dollar salary. Even with all this money, Grimes apparently spent years as an Uber driver. It wasn't because he was in need of money, but it was a strategic move against the competition to make the company public. If Morgan Stanley is chosen as Uber's top underwriter, the bank will make millions of dollars in fees. As both Uber and Lyft prepare to become public companies, whatever bank is associated with them will receive serious benefits. There's perhaps a reason why Da Vinci was such a genius. He had intermittent exotropia, which is a type of eye misalignment where one eye turns outward, as you can see in that picture. Christopher Tyler, a research professor who was the study's author, says that he noticed how one of Da Vinci's eyes diverged in his work and paintings. The reason why this aided the famed artist in his work is because the condition allowed him to look at the world in a different perspective. What he was looking at would look more like a flat canvas than life for us, a three-dimensional screen, said Tyler. This made it easier to translate things into the canvas. Due to this, his regular vision was contrasted, and it helped develop a good understanding of 3D objects. This is why most of his works had precise shading all throughout.
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
Right? That's so cool.
And now on to today's lunch. Is soup du jour, fried chicken, mashed potatoes with gravy, corn nuggets, and grit tomato.
Well, that's all we have for today, Mavs. I'm Mia Rodriguez.
And I'm Audrey Paternoster. Have a great day, Mavs.
This feels good right here.